4-1 meteorologist Kim Adams. Lots of sunshine out there right now, but still chilly with temperatures only in the 30s. But hang on, 50s about to make a return to Metro Detroit.
Also, the United States Supreme Court will decide another abortion case. We're going to talk about what's at stake this time, including here in Michigan. Plus, Paul is serving up something for the holidays.
Say cheese or charcuterie. We've got the 101 on making and building the perfect charcuterie board for the holidays.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the parents of a 5-year-old boy who shot himself in the face are now charged in his death. 25-year-old Halisa Brown and 33-year-old Sterling Minion face several charges, including involuntary manslaughter and second-degree child abuse. Police say their son found the gun on a dresser when the parents weren't home, was then jumping on the bed with the weapon, and it discharged. Parents are both being held on $250,000 bond and will be back in court next week. We're still waiting for word from prosecutors on possible charges in the murder of a local Jewish leader by the name of Samantha Woll. We've been checking with them all day long. About 24 hours ago, we did learn the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office received a warrant request. Now, it can decide to charge someone or ask for more investigations. Police are facing a 72-hour deadline on charges for the person of interest currently in custody would have to be released. Woll was found stabbed to death outside her home in Detroit. It was back in October. We're following it closely, and we'll bring you developments as they happen. The Northbound Lodge has turned into a dangerous and deadly stretch of road this morning, and that was thanks to a series of crashes. Sky 4 was over the worst damage near Outer Drive. Take a look at what happened to those 3 cars. Police say the maroon Dodge Avenger was stopped for another accident when the driver of the Chevy SUV failed to stop, smashing the Avenger between the other 2 vehicles. The 21-year-old driver in the middle died at the hospital. This driver of the Chevy SUV has minor injuries and was driving with a suspended license. Now, that pileup happened during the backup of this accident about 1.5 miles further north. State police say a black Saab was found blocking traffic, and then a semi was over on the right shoulder. Investigators believe the Saab hit the semi, which leaked diesel fuel onto the road. The driver of the Saab ran off, leaving the car behind. The Northbound Lodge was closed for much of the morning's commute, but it is open now. The Corewell Health System has issued new visitor restrictions, and that's because of an increase in respiratory illnesses among children. The new limits affect the Corewell Beaumont hospitals in Dearborn, Royal Oak, and Troy. Only 2 visitors will be allowed during the day in the pediatric units in those facilities, and just 1 visitor overnight. The restrictions only apply to patients 21 and younger in the pediatric inpatient and ER centers. Changes are effective immediately. All right, little by little, we are warming up this week. Here's a live look at Ann Arbor on your Wednesday afternoon. Let's check in with forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams for our first forecast. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Karen, welcome back. We have an hour left of the sunshine, and then it's just going to be mostly clear with temperatures dropping down to the 20s tonight. It's right about where we should be for this time of year, in the upper 30s, a little cooler than that in Pontiac, where it's only 35, 36 at Metro, and 38 down in Monroe. It's about 5 to 6 degrees colder, especially on the east side, than it was at this same time yesterday. So yesterday we were in the 40s, now we're only in the 30s. But we all warm up tomorrow, back to a high of 44 with lots of sunshine to go around. Starts out cold, though, in the morning with that low of 26. Temperature trend, we do hit 50 on Friday, 51 degrees to be exact, and then we stay well above normal for the weekend before we fall back down close to normal, but a very warm stretch of weather ahead.
All right, thank you, Kim. Breaking news on former Donald Trump's federal trial for election interference. The judge has put the case on hold while Trump pursues his claims he is immune from prosecution. The special counsel has already asked the United States Supreme Court to decide that immunity question as soon as possible. The trial judge says if the case returns to her court, she will reconsider the schedule then. The trial was set to start on March 4th. United States Supreme Court is wading into the battle over abortion once again. The High Court has agreed to take up the dispute over the so-called abortion pill. The justices will hear appeals from the Biden administration and the manufacturer of the drug, mifepristone. They're asking the court to reverse a ruling that would cut access to the drug through the mail and impose other restrictions, even in states where abortion is legal. However, the court rejected a separate appeal from abortion opponents who challenged the FDA's initial approval of the drug back in 2000. The court is expected to hear arguments over the restrictions this spring. President Joe Biden facing a key impeachment vote in the House of Representatives today, and his son has refused to testify behind closed doors on Capitol Hill. Now, Hunter Biden could be held in contempt. Let's get to Kimberly Gill. And Kim, we did get to hear from Hunter Biden on Capitol Hill today.
You're right, Karen, and good afternoon to you. The president's son made a scathing statement targeting House Republicans on the Oversight Committee. He says he's ready and willing to testify, but only in public. So here's what's happening. House Republicans say they want to question Hunter Biden behind closed doors about his business dealings. But Biden has argued that would allow bits and pieces of testimony to be leaked, information that could make him look worse. He thinks the public should hear it all. While Hunter Biden faces criminal charges for tax evasion, Congress has yet to find any evidence of wrongdoing by his father, the president. That hasn't stopped House Speaker Mike Johnson from pushing for a vote to formalize an impeachment probe. Hunter Biden admits he's had struggles.
And in the depths of my addiction, I was extremely irresponsible with my finances. But to suggest that is grounds for an impeachment inquiry is beyond the absurd. It's shameless. Republicans do not want an open process where Americans can see their tactics, expose their baseless inquiry, or hear what I have to say. What are they afraid of?
What we want is the facts, and the way you get the facts in every single investigation I've been involved in is you bring people in for an interview behind closed doors where you can get those facts. And then, as the chairman said, we'd love for him to come public.
Republicans say they'll take steps to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of court, which could result in prison time. Meanwhile, the House is due to vote on whether to authorize a formal impeachment inquiry, but they haven't provided any specific evidence of high crimes or misdemeanors. We'll have an update on the vote when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Kim. Federal Reserve holding steady and dropping a little bit of a hint on what's ahead for interest rates. The policymakers just announced they will leave a key interest rate unchanged for the third straight time. Experts say it is a sign the Fed is likely done raising rates after a series of hikes to fight inflation. The Fed also signaled it could cut interest rates 3 times next year. That's less than some economists predicted and might not happen until the second half of the year. So if you're doing any holiday entertaining this year, just say cheese. These days, more and more people are putting together spreads that look so good and taste great. The popular world of charcuterie seems to be growing, and our Paula Tutman found a cheese lady who really knows her stuff. She says you can spend as little or as much as you like. Take a look.
Charcuterie, not new. It's actually been around since the 15th century. Thank you, people of France. But it has become a serious thing as more and more people discover the ease, value, and fun of entertaining with charcuterie boards.
Thank you very much, Mariah.
We went to the Cheese Lady. There are 7 throughout the state of Michigan, all owned by women. The one in downtown Rochester is co-owned by Barbara Mariner,
And that's the other thing I love is the history, the geography, the science.
who has an encyclopedic knowledge of the more than 200 cheeses she carries from around the world.
See that interface? That is fresh and brand new. Oh, it's going to be very luscious and have amazing mouthfeel. This cheese I would describe as a little bit funky.
That said, there is no snobbery in charcuterie.
So it's strongly flavored, but it's creamy.
Depending on how you're entertaining or whom, start with 3 basic cheeses and present them differently.
Cheeses come in all different milks. So the most popular is cow's milk, but we also have many sheep's milk and goat's milk too.
Go crazy.
This is perfect for a cheese board or a charcuterie board because it has a lot of visual appeal. Part of the joy of this cheese is that it has a high degree of milk fat. It's a triple creme.
At the Cheese Lady, there is even a water buffalo cheese and cheeses laced with tequila or fine liqueurs.
It's then immersed and steeped in pear brandy.
Depending on your budget,
Would you suggest like one really fine cheese?
You could do one more show-stopping cheese, and then you could do two, a couple that were more cost effective.
And then fill your board with super affordable cheeses and condiments.
I'm going to present it maybe like this, and then we'll put some crackers on, and then you can make patterns. You can do like this kind of zigzag herringbone pattern with them on your board.
Add color and fun by sprinkling personality with fruits, candies, and nuts.
And this is a really winning combination. We're all about trying to make life easier for people. You can break a Hershey bar into pieces and put it on your board. You see you getting that juxtaposition of color and flavor and texture, all those differences. It's so easy to do.
Yeah, it really is. So I want to show you something else that Barbara showed me. So these are these really cute little peppers. But also, all you have to do is just sprinkle things around, and look how that just makes that pop. Or you could use M&Ms or Jordan almonds. Of course, don't forget your sliced meats if that's what you like. At the end of the day, you absolutely cannot get this wrong. And you can go the sky's the limit, whole hog, or even spend just a little bit of cheddar, so that you can be the big cheese at your event. See what I did there, Karen? Because you knew I was going to do a pun, right?
I was waiting. I know you too well,
it.
Paula. I know you. And you did well. It's a home run. Cheers, or cheese.